Good afternoon, everybody, and welcome to the Simple Trading Life Tuesday live stream. I'm hopping on a few minutes early just because we've had a lot of great action in ES, the E-minis today, the S&P 500, which is on my screen. So anybody who joins us early, you're going to get about 5 minutes of bonus coverage on the live stream. So give me 1 second here. And I will make sure I can see everyone's comments. So if you have any questions or any comments about anything, just type them in down here where you'll see me say hello to everyone. I see we got a couple of people in here already, so welcome. Glad there's some folks here early. You can always just type in your name and say hello when you're in our room. We're very welcoming. If this is your first time, you can check us out at simpletradinglife.com. You can read about us there, and we also have a free chat room and a premium room, which we'll talk a little bit more about as we go through the live stream today. See a couple more people joining us, so welcome. Like I said, I jumped on a few minutes early today just because we've got some really nice action going on in the E-minis. I've been scalping it actually since the pre-market. I've been up since about 6 o'clock this morning, and I can't remember exactly when I took my first trade. I guess I could go back and look. But I've been trading it pre-market and during regular trading hours and having a lot of success today. So we'll go through some of the scalps. We will analyze the market. I'll show everybody why I kind of figured we were going to be heading down today. And that's not a prediction. You didn't see me on Twitter or anything like that saying, hey, we're going to drop 30, 40, 50 points today. Nothing like that. I don't make predictions. I don't guess. But I will show you how price action led me to believe that we would probably be heading lower today. However, the scalps I've taken have been both up and down. So calls and puts, and making money on both because we trade price action. We're not trading a theory or a bias, not a bull, not a bear. I'm a price action trader. And we use support and resistance and supply and demand to support that. So hopefully everybody who has been here in the past, they understand that and they can learn from that. So anyway, still got about 3 minutes until 2 o'clock. As you can see, here's where we opened up on ES. It originally started going to the top side. And you'll notice right where it bounced. And we're going to talk about that once we get a few more people on here. And then we had a nice strong flush to the downside. And where did it bounce? Right at support. Okay, so it's no surprise to us. It may be a surprise to some people where it bounced. But we've had this level on our charts for days and days and days. That's where it bounced. Okay, back up to the 20. And then as you can see, even though it was going up, so this was really just sort of structure here. You see this? Okay, it was sort of just kind of floating along the 20. It was also creating a contracting range, which we'll talk more about. Then we got our second big flush of the day. And again, no surprise to us where it caught support. And we're going to be talking about that once we get a few more people on here. And ever since we got down here, this is the 30-minute chart, which I primarily have up and I primarily trade off of. But ever since we caught this little bounce here, we've been making our way back up. Now, is that going to be sustained? And we'll talk about that, and we'll show a few different things as we go along. So we're getting closer here. We're almost to 2 o'clock. Market has, I think, probably fooled a lot of people today. I know over the weekend and after yesterday. So here's the action, right? Starting last night at 6 o'clock. We obviously went down right to this support level at 28.95, came up, came back down, kind of formed a little bit of a double bottom here. We'll talk about that some more as well. Then we worked our way all the way back up here. And like I said, we'll discuss this, why we kind of had a feeling it was going to bounce there. Then we got our flush and we've been working our way back down. And we caught some support right in here. So that's the action just for today. And when I say today, I'm talking about going all the way back to yesterday at 6 o'clock because that's what starts the trading day. Now yesterday, as you can see, we ended the day pretty strong, right? We kind of faded a little bit into close, but we kind of had a pretty strong day from 8:30 in the morning until 1:30 in the afternoon. Then we came down, we double topped, and then again, we kind of figured that we would get a fade, right? And I think we might have even discussed that on our private live stream yesterday in the simpletradinglife.com premium community. But there was a lot of people, I saw a lot of people today on Twitter, and I even got rid of a bunch of people. In the last week and a half, I've eliminated 400 people from my Twitter, 400. So that's either I've unfollowed them or I've muted them or whatever. I don't typically block somebody unless they're just a troll or they're saying something that's not true to my beliefs or whatever, and just being mean. That's about the only time I ever block anybody. But I will unfollow and mute people. And so, like I said, over 400 people in the last week and a half, which has really, really quieted the noise on my Twitter feed. But even at that, okay, the people that are still in my Twitter feed, lots of people were calling for us to go up today, and they thought there was going to be a lot of names, and there were some names that did go up, right? Not every name is going to follow the market. So there were some names that went up, but there was a lot of people thought the market was really going to blast off today, and we just didn't see it. So we weren't one of them. And I'll show you kind of how we determine that. So I see we're starting to get a few more people joining us. Welcome everybody. I jumped on a few minutes early today just because we've been having this great action in ES, and we'll really dive in here in just a minute. Just trying to let a few more people get on, and then we'll get started here. So whether you're new or whether you're somebody who's on these live streams all the time, definitely give us a wave, give us a thumbs up, say hello in the comments. I love knowing who's here and what's going on. So, and maybe we'll see. Maybe we might take some scalp trades today. I took a couple of them. I think I took 2 yesterday in our private live stream. So if we see something that I like and I'm not too distracted, the only problem about trying to trade while I'm doing these live streams, my partner in crime, Grayson, who handles our web and our design and marketing and all that kind of stuff. We've been talking about at some point, probably in the near future, I might start doing a session every day where I live stream live trade, but that won't be like this live stream because I won't be able to, kind of converse and all that. Now I will verbally tell everybody what I'm doing. You can watch what I'm seeing. You can see how I switch from different time frame to different time frame. The setups I'm looking for. I can verbalize all that, and I might do that like a couple hours a day. Maybe from just before market open. The first hour and a half or 2 hours of the day. But all I would be doing is actually trading. And again, I would be verbalizing what I'm doing. The only problem with that, and I shouldn't say problem, the only thing when I do that, I have to be concentrating on my trading. I won't be able to just converse back and forth with folks. That's what these live streams are for. These live streams, I'm really trying to teach, trying to help people become more consistently profitable, and answer your questions or look at names that maybe you want me to look at, or kind of just teach you how we do things, in a very simplistic way. So anyway, we'll kind of see how that goes. But we might take a trade or two today while we're on the live stream. So again, now that we have a few more people on here, let's go ahead and get started. Again, here is the action on ES so far today. And I'm talking about from regular trading hours. So again, we went up, we kind of caught a bounce right here. And I'm going to tell you why. I'm going to tell you why in just a second. And we got the flush, then we made this nice structure level, then we were sort of heading down this way. That's why I have this line drawn right here, okay? Notice every time we came up, okay, we couldn't get through this, and we kept coming up to it, then eventually we flushed again. We were also creating a contracting range right here. See this? Okay, I could draw it in for you just to make it easier, and then I'll take it back off here in a minute. Okay, so we were going higher and lower, and getting tighter and tighter and tighter, and that tells us what? That tells us that at some point we're going to break out, and that can be either direction. We were looking for it to go down for a couple of reasons, and that's what I'm going to talk about right now. The real reason I kind of expected us to go lower today is, let me do this so it'll make it easier for you guys to see. Let me go to the 1 hour. As long as my Thinkorswim doesn't freak out on me. There we go. Okay, so this is a 1 hour. Now I'm typically on the 30-minute, but as you can see, when we came here and bounced up here, okay, sideways, went up, back down, back up, back down, back up, and then we were headed back down. So we were in a contracting range. Now this contracting range, okay, is inside of a broader expanding range. Okay, so this is more what I would call near term, right? Now this is over a few days, 1, 2, 3, 4 days, but it's more near term. But you can see, right, that price is contracting. So this morning, when we opened up here and we had this strong move, you see this, we had this strong move up, then we kind of leveled out right there, okay? You see that, that doji, right? Sort of a hammer doji. Then when we opened up, and that's what this dotted line signifies, that's opening price level, we poked up first, but look right where we stopped. Right where we stopped. Look at that. Okay. Then we flushed. And we flushed right back down to our support at 29.12.25. Okay. So again, not a surprise to us because we use support and resistance. Then we went up. Now I can go back to the 30-minute and you guys will see it better. Okay. Actually, let me get closer. Want to make it so you can see. All right, then we went up, okay, and then we were headed back down, okay, in a contracting range. But what was most important to me, I didn't even draw in this bottom line. I can visually see that we're in a contracting range there. But I did draw this one in because this tells me, all right, if all of a sudden we break through, and especially see how we're under the 20 right here. This is the 20 simple moving average. This is the 200. Okay, when we came back below and we came up, we couldn't get through the 20. Then we came down, we came up, we couldn't get through the 20. Then over here, we kind of did the same thing. We came down at first, we came up, and we bounced. Again, right here, we could not get through this. See how it slanted down? That was one of the surest indicators to me that what I was visualizing here was about to play out. All we had to do was break down, and we were probably going to see some sort of a flush. Well, that's a flush right there, okay? So we were ready. I took some scalps on the way down. I've been scalping this all day, up and down. But this one, I could see it developing, and I'm going to show you on some different time frames kind of what it looks like. It's much easier to see on the 30-minute, much easier. Okay, a lot cleaner. Today, just so you know, I've taken multiple scalps. I've been posting them in the premium room for my premium members to see. I I have traded the 30-minute, I've traded the 15-minute, I've traded the 5-minute, and I've traded the 1-minute. The last 2 trades I took off the 1-minute. Now, I don't really care for the 1-minute chart. I'll just be completely upfront and honest about that. I don't care for it. The only reason I've done it, I've been trying to trade on a bunch of different time frames to show my premium members especially that the way we trade off of price action, support and resistance, and supply and demand works on any time frame, all the way down to a 1-minute. But there is so much noise. There is so much noise on a 1-minute. Let me go ahead and just switch over to it, because you guys will see what I'm talking about. All right. So this line right here, okay, on the 30-minute, this is only about 4 candles. But look at the 1-minute. I want you to see all this noise in here. Okay, give me 1 second. Get it back over for you. And I'm going to squeeze this in so you can see it better. All right, so let's do this. All right, so look at all this. Look at all this. This is basically 4 candles on the 30-minute, but look at all this through here. So as I showed the folks in my premium room, the last 2 trades I took were off of the 1-minute, and basically I'll show you what I was looking at. I was looking for this right here. Okay, you see this? How we came down, we bounced. We bounced. Okay, we didn't come back, but you see how we're just chopping. Went up here, touched the line. This was the last time we touched the line, that last candle. So this is that one that flushed. Okay, then we came down and we bounced again, but this time we didn't go back up, right? Look what we did. This is on a 1-minute. We rolled over and we broke through. We rolled over and we broke through. And you can see all kinds of like the little patterns that we would see on larger time frames. Right here's a 3-candle pattern play, 1 resting candle, and then these 2 candles actually together, because we know, and I teach this in the premium room, on a 3-candle pattern play, you can have combinations of candles. You don't just have to have 1, then the resting candle, and then 1. You can have 2 or 3 leading up to your resting candle. You can have 2 resting candles, but never more than 2, right? So what we have here, again, that was just simply a 3-candle pattern play. You'll notice that these 2 candles are similar in magnitude as this one. But here was the final break, right? And we started down. So this is what I was watching on the 1-minute, right here. Chop, 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 bounced. We did not break through the top. We came down, we bounced, but didn't go back up, rolled over, and broke through. And so I took 2 trades on the flush down. Okay, I took 2 trades on the flush down. I didn't play it as well as I would have liked. And again, I don't like the 1-minute, right? The 1-minute freaks you out, and it's very mentally taxing. It takes a lot of mental energy. Like usually the smallest I'll go is the 2-minute, and I typically will only trade that at the beginning of a trading day, regular trading hours, like the first 10, 15, maybe the first 20 or 30 minutes. But usually the first 10 or 15 minutes, I'll trade the 2-minute because you can kind of read some things better because it's so chaotic that first minute, right? Or excuse me, that first 10 minutes or so when regular trading hours open. So again, I was just doing this to try to show my premium members that you can trade off at any time frame if you know what you're looking for and you trade price action. So I took 2 scalps on the way down here. One was for like 50 bucks and one was for like 25, and I don't believe either trade was more than a couple of minutes, right? So you can pull money out. You can do it in a bunch of different ways. So let's go back. Let's take a look at the same action on a 5-minute. Let's just see how it looks on a 5-minute. And how do we know it's the same action? Again, it's because of this line right here, okay? So here's a 5-minute chart. You'll notice on the 5-minute, it's already cleaning it up quite a bit. Sorry, guys. Thinkorswim is just being a little bit touchy. There we go. All right. So here we are in a 5-minute. So already you see how much cleaner it is, right? So we came up, came back down. Here's those bounces. And on the 1 minute, we had all these candles in here, but bounced up, came back down, tested this level right here again. Okay, came up here, down, popped up, and then broke through. If I would have been trading the 5 minute, this would have been much better. I probably would have been able to catch it all the way down to here, right here. Okay, on the 1 minute, because you have all the little ups and downs, it makes it so much more difficult. So I caught 2 of them, but I should have got more. All I'm saying is I should have been able to pull more profit out. See, on the 5 minute, poked through, popped up, then broke through here, and especially once you got below the 200, it was almost a virtual certainty. It was flushing down here. And other than this, and that wouldn't have scared me because I'll show you why. We broke through. This is a break, retest, and go. It's one of my favorite patterns. You guys know that, especially those who watch the live streams frequently. Break, retest, and go. So I definitely still would have been in here on the 5 minute, and then it came as low as here, but what I'm saying is I probably would have exited about right there when price started to come back. When this candle went green and got to the bottom of this candle, that's when I would have got out, right? Because I was looking for it to get down to here, which that is that trend line in the contracting range. Now again, none of these are exact. When you draw these lines in, they're just visual representations. Okay, so if it bounces here, or if it pokes its head through and then bounces a little bit, okay, this is just warning you that you're getting back to where the contracting range was. Now, what are we doing? Okay, as of right now, we just put a structure level in back to what was support, which is now resistance, and we're working our way back down. Okay, now if we take this out right here, let's see what that is. 2901.75. Okay, where would we be likely to go? Well, let's look. Let's go back to the 30 minute. 2901.75. Okay, so if we take the bottom of this out, 2901.75, okay, this would be our next obstacle right here. Right here. Okay, and that's at 2898.75. Okay, right there. And if you got through there, then it's this pivot here. See this pivot? And that would be our level at 28.95. Now, the interesting thing is I told my room earlier today that I kind of had a feeling we were going to get down to around 28.99 to 28.95 today. If that's what happens here, and let's look. Looks like we're trying to break down right now. I'm half tempted to take this. Let me see. See, the premiums have actually kind of been going up through the day because the day's been volatile. I'm going to watch it right now. I'm going to watch it. We also have the 200 here. So we've got this, we have this, and we have the 200. So what am I pointing out? To us, these are what we call obstacles, right? They're things that could potentially cause price to either stall or reverse. Now, I think we're going to get down into here. I think, right? But we also know that we have some obstacles to get through. Now it's trying to break through. You see how it's waffling back and forth. It's because it's struggling right here at this trend line. It's struggling. This trend line has been support going back 4 or 5 days. Okay, it's been moving up, but it's been acting as support. Okay, there we are. We're trying to break below it. Trying to break below it. See, I'd have to go to feel comfortable. I'd want to go like here. And even at that, you're talking almost $600 per contract to be $11 out of the money. And we are catching a little bounce there off the 200. I'm just going to watch it right now. We'll watch it together. We'll watch it together. Now, this is not a true 3-candle pattern play, and I'll tell you why. Well, first of all, this is somewhat of a chaotic candle, okay, meaning it's usually 2, 3, 4 times bigger than the average size candles on, or even the biggest candles on your screen, right? We have 2 of them today, one here and one here. Second of all, your resting candle should be a small body, preferably a doji or a spinning top, and it should be in the lower 25 to 30% of this candle. This is probably coming back more than that. Now, the reason that's important is the probabilities go down for follow through. And what I mean by follow through is on a 3-candle pattern play, if it sets up right, okay, whatever the magnitude of this candle is, typically you're going to get a similar magnitude on this candle or combination of the next couple of candles. But, and as you can see, we're bouncing here off the 200. You see this? So I was smart not to jump in. Back to the 3-candle pattern play. If it sets up correctly, it's a very high probability play. Okay, but this is not a true 3-candle pattern play. And again, we have all these obstacles. That's what made me a little bit leery. Now, it's not to say it won't pull up, rest, and take another dive at it. It might. But I was a little bit leery right there. We did get to the 28.99 area, which I said in our room earlier today, I thought we would get to. I told the room 28, in that 28.99 to 28.95 area is where I thought we would go. Okay, so we did get down in there. Right now we're catching a bounce. Let me get in closer. You can see it better. See that? Also, let's do this. Okay, so the bottom of this wick is actually kind of in between the 200 and our support at 25.95. Just had a lot of obstacles here, a lot of obstacles. So we'll kind of watch and see what happens, right? We'll watch and see what happens. Let's do this. Let's look at some of the names that were on our watch list today. So let me go to the daily chart. Whoops, I went to the wrong place. There we go. All right, we'll just take a few. We're not going to go through all of them. So let's just start with Baidu. And we'll see if these gave any kind of plays today. Okay, so Baidu, here's where Baidu opened. Okay, it was an inside candle. It never took the top out. See this? Never took the top out, so it wouldn't have triggered there. Then it flushed down, got outside, and came back in. So really not much to do on Baidu. Okay. Cake. Now, if we can go through them all that quick, we might get through them. Cake. We'll just see how these things play out. All right, Cake. Our trigger would have been at 21.70, and it went as low as 19.83, so that's over $1 to the downside. And as you can see, look at this candle. This is one of the bigger candles on the screen, so that tells you that's a good move on Cake, right? That is a good move on Cake. It actually went about $1.10 to our favor. It's still down near the lows. Maybe a potential exit could have been down around the 20. So there's a sure winner right off the watch list. That's Cake. Okay, we'll go to PayPal. So the some of you, if you're new or don't know anything about us, you might not know why these are on our watch list. Our premium members do. I put this watch list out every day. I put it on Twitter. I put it on Facebook. I put it on LinkedIn. I put it in our free room. But the only ones who know why these names are on there are in our premium room because there's criteria of why they're on there. Okay, PayPal, nothing really to do. And as you can see, man, PayPal is doing nothing these last few days. Okay, so nothing on PayPal. Let's go to Roku. We'll blast through as many of these as we can. We're getting through them pretty quick. Okay, now Roku, as you can see here, this would have triggered to the upside 125.05, and it went as high as 134.98. So almost $5 move to the upside. Then it reversed. Okay, then it reversed, and we know, our members know, price action, you could also take a second trade when it comes back through opening price level and starts moving back into the range. The range is this candle here. Okay, so on that, there has also been over $3 that direction. Okay, so Roku would have possibly given you 2 different trades today. 2 different trades. Right? Next one is Shack. Okay, Shack. It poked its head below here. Trigger was at 51.95. It went as low as 51.04, so about 90 cents to the downside, and then it reversed back up. Okay. Could you have made any money on that? Maybe a little bit. You wouldn't have caught all 90 cents, right? Maybe you catch 70 cents of that or something like that, just being conservative. Right? TTD, which I believe is Trade Desk. I saw this was on a lot of people's watch list today. Let's see if it gave anything. Triggered at 312.20 and went as high as 320. Nice. Okay, almost $8. Then it pulled back. Again, if you catch $6 of that, $7 of that, yes, you're going to make money on that on Trade Desk. These are bigger candles, right? These are abnormal. If you just look at all these candles through here, this is more an average size candle. And we can look up the ATR. Let's look up the ATR on Trade Desk. And that is the average true range. Just go to FinViz, put in any ticker you want, come down here. ATR is 1941. That's the average true range between the high and the low each day over, usually it's over the last 14 days. They'll average those together, and that's what gives you this ATR. So $19.41. That's the ATR. Okay, let's look. UAL, which is United Airlines. United Airlines. We're going to go back to ES here in a little bit, and we're going to talk a little bit more about scalping. We're just going through some of these names. Okay, United Airlines, a little bit small, but let's see if we can make it a little bit bigger. Would have triggered at 23.45, and it's been as low as 22.75. So 60 cents. 60 cents to the downside. You can see UAL is not moving much here recently. I mean, it's obviously been decimated. Okay, but it did trigger and did go our way. The diamonds, that's DIA. We'll see if we had any trades that could have been taken. Not really. Okay, not really. Nothing there. Facebook. Our members in the premium community, they know how to trade each one of these setups. Nothing really there on Facebook. Microsoft. Yeah, we're blowing through this list pretty fast. Microsoft. In a lot of cases, there's just nothing to do. There's nothing to do here. Okay, so you're not in and out, in and out, in and out. No trigger, right? There's no trigger. Okay, Place, which is Children's Place, PLCE. Whoop, PLCE. There we go. All right, let's see if we got anything here. Not really. Not really. It looks like, let's see, the trigger. Trigger would have been 30.85. been as high as 31.28. So what is that? 25 and 15, 40 cents. That's only about 40 cents. Nothing to write home about. Okay, Lake. Let's look at Lake, which is Lakeland Industries. All right, here we go. A little bit better. 13.50 was the trigger, and it's been as high as 14.02, so 52 cents. These candles are deceiving, right? Okay, that candle right there, that's about a 60-cent candle, right? So 52 cents is a pretty good move for Lake. So there would be a winner for sure. You could have made money. PSTI. A lot of people in our room and in general have been trading PSTI lately and making good money on it. Nothing to do today. Nothing to do today. Beyond, again, a lot of people's favorite, just because it gives you some action. All right, so Beyond, trigger would have been 139.30, and it's been as high as 145.50. So what's that? That's over $6. $6 from the trigger. So there's a good one. Okay. And then these last three, these are our small account names. And I don't know if any of them triggered today. And each day, we're only hoping that one of them might trigger. Okay, I know this one didn't, because right there is the trigger. So it never triggered. That was Acer. And CBay. I'm almost positive none of these triggered. Nope. Okay, up here was our trigger. Look at this gap on CBay. See that gap? Let's look at the news. Trying to think what the reason it went up. Let's see here. Oh, it had to do with some kind of, well, there was results for one thing, and then there was also like Evercore upgrades CymaBay Therapeutics to outperform with a $15 price target. I see lots of upgrades in here, but which is normal with a lot of these smaller names. Okay, look where it came from, right? Down here around $1.50 to $2, and it spikes up that much, right? Typically, let me turn it on. Okay, let me go. I'm going to turn on the after hours because I want to show this to you. Yep. So we have the after hours. Let me go back to the 30-minute. Okay, see this? See this? Here's where all the move was. And this is typically institutional money, big money, because not a lot of retail traders trade in the aftermarket. That's what the gray area is. Then it eased off a little bit, and then it got no help from the market, right? Because the market flushed. So it came down to the 20, spiked up, came back, and it's just really kind of been level here, fairly flat. So all the move was after hours. I don't typically, other than futures, I don't typically trade after hours. I can. I have the ability to. Some platforms let you, some platforms don't. I have the ability to, but you run into the potential for wild swings and low liquidity. And that's a recipe for disaster. So I just was listening to somebody talk about this the other day who's a professional micro scalper, meaning they trade very, very small moves, 10, 20, 30 cents is all they're looking for. And they're basically only playing names between $1 and $10. And this person was talking about why he doesn't trade the after hours and pre-market. He's had situations in the past, okay? He's got money. So he gave the example, I think it was of like a $1 stock, and he bought 10,000 shares. Now it's 10,000 bucks, right? And what happened was it spiked during the after hours, and he was like really in the money, like really in the money. Well, then here came the problem. He tried to get out of the trade. There wasn't enough liquidity to get him out. He could only get out like 1,000 of his 10,000 shares, and then the stock plummeted. And he had no way of getting out because there wasn't enough liquidity. So that's why, a lot of people. Now, if it's a name that has liquidity, even pre-market, there's some names that trade millions and millions of shares after hours and pre-market. That's one thing. But these kind of names, you got to be really careful. You got to be really careful. So I don't typically trade these pre-market or aftermarket. All right, let's go back and let's see what the market's doing. We've been through our watch list. Okay, so you can see we're back on the 30-minute. We came down right here to the 200. We bounced back up. Now we're making another run down. Let's look at some different time frames, right? Let's see, what do other time frames tell us? So we're talking from a day trading and scalping perspective. This is the 15-minute. All right, this is the 15. On the 15, right, this isn't a clean hammer. That's not my favorite. It's not my favorite, okay? But this is showing a bounce, right? Then we came back. We never took out the bottom. If it would get up here and take this out, could there be a scalp back up? Possibly, right? Possibly, because right now the support seems to be right in here. We also have a pivot over here. See that? Pivots. What I mean by a pivot, a drop, and then we kind of pivot and move up. These will typically act right through here, will act as support. Like if I took, this is not truly a demand zone, but I want to show you even a pivot on its own, is going to act as support. All right, everybody see that? Okay, that's how we would draw in a demand zone. This is not a true demand zone, or not a good one, I should say, not one that I would typically have a ton of faith in, but it is a pivot. So we have that, we had this wick, we have this trend line, and then also on one of the other charts on the 30-minute, we had the 200, right? That's where this bounced, the 200 on the 30-minute. Okay, we are getting a little spike. See this? Okay, so we just took this out. Let's see if we get any kind of follow through. I'm not super excited about this right now, only because look at this chop. See this chop? Since we broke down and bounced, all we've done is chop, which could, we're going to watch it, right? We'll be on here a little bit longer. I may have to end this a little bit earlier than normal. We normally go till about 3:30. I don't know if I'll be able to go that long today. I got some stuff to do, but we'll see. If price stays contained between here and here, that'll mean we're back into a smaller contracting range, and then we would look to see, do we break above or break below? Okay, now, could you scalp it from here, 29.0675, up to here? You could, yeah. I mean, if you get this move and it happens quick enough, you make good money. So earlier today, just to give you an example, I mainly trade options. I'll sometimes trade shares, but I like options. Okay, some people don't. Some people don't understand them. Okay, one thing about options is you need it to move. Okay, so you want moves like this, and like this, and like this right here. Okay, you want those kind of moves. And let me give you an example. So I had 2 trades today. One, I made $37.50 on it, and I was in it approximately 22 or 23 minutes. And it moved about $4 approximately. Okay? So I made profit, but here was the problem. Okay? The problem is when I entered, it immediately went against me. Okay, not by much, but it didn't go my way. So I was immediately red about $25. Then it reversed and it started to go my way, and I was just sort of flat. Then it went back against me. Okay, then it went my way a little bit more. Then it went back against me. And it was moving my direction. Okay, okay, let's just say it wasn't here, but let's just say it was here. Okay, it was moving my direction, but it was doing this, chopping up, down, up, down. Every time it would go down, it would go a little bit further and a little bit further and a little bit further. And eventually it got to where my target was, and I exited and I made $37.50, but I was in the trade about 22 or 23 minutes. For a scalp, that's longer than I want to be in. Vice versa. Earlier, I took a trade that I was in 2 minutes, and it basically moved the same distance, about $4, and I made $87.50 on that trade. That is the power of options. That gives you both scenarios, the good and the bad about options. So if you get these kind of moves, okay, that go your direction, any one of these, even kind of a move like that, if it happens quickly, like within, say, 2, 3, 4, 5 minutes, options are going to pay you well. You can make nice money in short amounts of time. But you can move that same distance, and if price is just, kind of like a heart monitor, right? The little blips. Okay, if it's just kind of doing that, and even though it might be moving your direction, okay, those 2 trades were almost identical in terms of they both moved about $4, except this one took 23 minutes to do it. This one took 2 minutes to do it. This one paid me $87.50. This one paid me $37.50. And I was lucky to get the $37.50. I literally, when it got to $37.50, I just got out because it was never more, it was almost the whole time in that trade, I was either down in the negative up to about $25, or I was flat. And I'd maybe be $12.50 in the money, and then it would go red again. And then it maybe be $12.50 or $18.75 in the money, and then it would go red again. The first time I saw it make a little spike, and I saw that thing go to $37.50, I exited and got out and took my money. Okay, but I don't like being in trades that long. Okay, I don't like being in trades that long. Okay, so here we are. We're trying to break down again. Let me bring this back up. Okay, now we're on the 15 minute. And again, then we're looking at this pivot right here. And then our support level, which is also confluent with this pivot, if it can get through it. But again, look at it. We know on the 30 minute, there's a 200 moving average right here. That's why this one bounced. And look, this one's bouncing again. That's why I'm not just over anxious to jump into a scalp right now. If I saw something that I thought made sense, I would do it. And I also, what did I tell you up here? Okay, I didn't, this isn't really a clean hammer. Okay, so even though we broke above it here, which would normally be a trigger, no excitement to me to the upside, because first of all, I've showed you guys this before. If you want to know the simplest way to know how you're trending, just go from where you started. Let me get the right tool. Just go from where you started a move to current price. Okay, well, current price is really here. Okay, that's all you got to do. Okay, what are we doing? How are we trending right now? We're trending down. We're trending down. So Am I thrilled or excited to jump into anything long? No. Now, I've taken longs today, right? I've taken some trades when we were going up here, okay, to the long side. And there might even have been some in here, although this is not the ideal place to trade, but if you're on a 5-minute, you might find some trades that make sense, okay? But most of my trades today have been to the downside because look, this is how we're moving. Okay, and there it goes again. There it goes again. We're on the 15-minute right now. We just started a new candle. Okay, this is what is known as an outside candle. So what we know is there's two different scenarios that are likely to happen. One, we end up inside, meaning we can't take this out and we can't take this out. Or two, price tries to expand the range. An outside candle, let me get rid of this to clean this up for you. And let me squeeze in a little bit. All right, an outside candle by definition is expanding a range. You see this here? If I draw that in for you. There. And you can even, here, look at this. You can come back to here. Okay, it's expanding a range by definition. When you go outside of something, you're expanding the range. So the likely scenarios, there's two of them, is that this candle can just go inside, meaning it just doesn't do much, or it's going to try to expand the range. So is there something I feel confident about trading right now? No. No. Typically, what I like to see is if it takes out one side or the other, what are the obstacles right after that? If there are no obstacles, okay, the range might expand quite a bit, okay? Or if it just gets up to here, it has expanded the range because all it has to do is take out the top of this or the bottom. If it takes it out by one tick, it's technically expanded the range. All right? So that's where we're at on the 15-minute. I'm going to leave these in here just for now. Let's see what it looks like on the 10-minute. We're just going to look at a bunch of different time frames. We'll see if anything makes sense. All right, 10-minute. My thinkorswim is getting a little glitchy. There we go. All right, 10-minute. And it's trying to power its way back up, but still nothing that I look at that I say, hey, I want to trade this. Okay, here was an inside candle. I want to show you. Here's an inside candle on the 10-minute. Okay, now, what did we do? We went up and we expanded it here. We went down and we expanded it here. Right? You see that? So now we would have to take the top of this out or the bottom of this. Well, actually, I take that back. We'd have to take out the bottom of this, the candle we're on. And that would expand the range. So you see on the 10-minute, we're trying to come down and then come back all the way through. These right here, okay, that's 30 minutes of time. On this one 10-minute candle, we're trying to expand the range both directions. But is there a trading opportunity there? You know, I don't see anything that I would have been super excited about. Okay, let's go to the 5-minute. Okay, again, my thinkorswim jumping around on me. All right, so right now, it looks like we're going to go inside on the 5-minute. Okay, whenever you have a big candle like this, it's common for that next candle to go inside. And off of that 15-minute where we're expanding the range, look how price moves. Up, down, and right now we're inside. Still don't know, right? We still don't know which direction we're going to go. This has only got a few seconds left. Let's see what the next candle does. Okay, we ended as a doji, an inside doji. I like inside dojis or spinning tops because they're candles of indecision. So now let's see what this next candle does. Does this next candle take out the bottom or the top, or maybe both? Does it take out the bottom and then head back up? Just watching to see if we're going to get anything here. You can also go inside. Okay, the most that I can usually think about seeing is like three inside candles in a row. You can go 4. You probably conceivably could go 5. But typically, okay, when you're going inside, what are you doing? On a smaller scale, you're creating a contracting range. And eventually you'll pop out of that. All candle movement are ranges. Expanding, contracting, or sideways. Okay, that's all they are. Price is constantly looking to test its boundaries. All right, so it's taken out the top, but we got the 20 here. See how it took the top out, went right to the 20. And when you're on a 5-minute time frame, this 20 is the last 20 5-minute candles. This is the average price of the last 20 5-minute candles. This is the average price of the last 200 5-minute candles. Okay, broke above, so we're getting a spike. So then you'd look for it to come up here. Let's see here. 29.05.75, and if it got up here, that'd be about a $4 move. I didn't like it because the 20 was above it. Let's see if we get any sort of follow through here. We're on the 5-minute, just so everybody knows. We're on the 5-minute. So right now we got that little spike, but we didn't get any kind of follow through. To expand the range, it has to take out the top of this candle. It doesn't necessarily have to get back up here. That line is a visual representation. It has to take out the top of this candle to expand the range. This candle is 29.0850. 29.0850. So it would have to go to 29.0875 by definition to expand the range. Sometimes what will happen is you'll go up, you'll take out one side of an inside candle, and you'll come all the way back down through on the same candle and take out the other one, or a combination of two. All right, this candle could end up closing after 5 minutes, and maybe it comes back down to like here, and then the next candle goes and takes out the bottom of this. That's just another candle combination. If you are not, you don't feel you're really strong with candlesticks, candlestick basics, candlestick movement, candlestick patterns, I highly suggest going to YouTube and watching candlestick videos. I prefer and I recommend, there's a guy named Steve Nissen, Nison. He tells bad jokes, and he tells a lot of stories and stuff like that, but he is the foremost authority on Japanese candlesticks. These things that we refer to as candlesticks are technically Japanese candlesticks. And he's sort of the guy who really popularized them in the United States back in like the late 80s, early 90s, something like that. He's wrote books and done all kinds of seminars. But having a good, solid foundation, right? Because you build upon a foundation, a good, solid understanding of candlesticks, candlestick movement, and candlestick patterns is crucial to be able to trade price action. All right, okay, trying to pop up again. Let's see, we know where it needs to get to. 29.0875 would be expanding the range. And We got right up to 50. Haven't got up to 75 yet. It's a little bit of an optical illusion because you see this line going up, but right now, yep, we did. We got there, 29.0875 by one tick. Now, okay, are we going to come all the way back down through and expand the range to the other side? And so what you can do, watch this. Remove. You can do this. You don't have to. I don't typically do this. But we technically expanded the range. I typically leave this like this until I have more data. Once you have a few more candles, now we're on the 5 minute here. Once you have a few more candles, you'll know. Okay, now it looks, okay, back down to the 20. It looks like, okay, are we going to try to go all the way back down through and expand this direction? We'll know here in a minute. And I will flip around to a couple other time frames, so just bear with me. We're just on the 5 minute here, seeing if we're going to do anything. Also, I cover this all the time in our room, simpletradinglife.com room. Once you enter a trade, make all of your trading decisions on that time frame. You can look at other charts, but make your trading decisions on the time frame you entered on. That way you don't get confused. You don't want to get confused. Okay. Still battling here with the 20. Wonder if it breaks below, if we'll start to see it drop. We'll see here. Let me see what the premiums are doing. A little bit better. Okay, they've come down because remember, $10 out of the money was at about 13 the last time we looked. So they've come down a little bit because the volatility, right? What had happened was we had this and then we had this, and this was creating volatility, and the premiums rise, okay, during volatility. They rise. They come back down when things sort of settle in or you start to chop. And they're always burning, right? They're always burning. Now, today is not an expiry day. Tomorrow is. So tomorrow, throughout the day, and especially the last couple hours of the day, they'll really burn fast. Right now, they don't burn as fast. Okay, the 20, so far, the 20 is acting as some support here. We're just watching to see if we're going to get through it or not. Or we could go higher, right? We could. Let's see here. Going to have just over 2 more minutes on this 5 minute candle. And then we'll look and see. Now, if we do break out of here, okay, where are we likely to go? Okay, possibly up here. Okay, it's a pivot and it would be a resistance level. So if we broke above here, that's the potential in the short term. That's the potential in the short term. So we would have to get, okay, it's trying. See how it poked up, but now it's coming back. Nothing to do. Nothing to do. I was getting my trigger finger ready. If we would have broke above there and started to move up, that could potentially be, let's see, is there enough? 09. That's a little bit iffy. I like to at least try to get around $5, $4, $5, $6 on a scalp, because if it moves quickly, as I told you before, right, at approximately $4 move in 2 minutes, I made $87.50. Okay, you can make some decent money quick, but if it just starts chopping, and then eventually gets up there, you might not make anything, or just make a few dollars. All right, we'll come back to this. Let's look at a different time frame. Let's go to the 2 minute. I'm just going down time frame by time frame. Okay, just compared to the 5, look at how the 2 brings in a bunch of different noise. I apologize that the Thinkorswim is acting up. Some days it does, some days it doesn't. Let's get back over here. There we go. All right. Okay, so on the 2 minute, look what it's doing. Okay, formed a shooting star, trying to move back down. Come on. Okay, formed a shooting star, trying to move back down, but it would still have to get through this 20 right here. And as you can see, what are we doing? We're moving back and forth through this new expanding range. Now, if it got below there, then we're looking at this right here, 29.01 basically, from 29.05. Let's see. Yeah, these are starting to go back up again. It's trying to break down. I'd like to see it get through there. We'll try it. Okay, we're in. I always get my position ready. I can come over here. Okay, right now we're down 1250. We entered at 1175. Okay, come back here, and you see it's sort of going against us, sort of bouncing. Okay, now I'll wait. I thought when it got down to there, it might be far enough below, but we'll see. Okay, we're on the 2 minute time frame. And what we were looking for here is a bounce off of the top where we expanded the range. Now, right now, we're not getting any kind of follow through yet. Okay, now it's trying again. You see how busy this gets on the 2 minute. We need to get below the 20 and keep working our way back down. My first target would really be this trend line right here if we get some follow through. And we might not get any. Okay, I need to be careful here. We're already, okay, it's already starting to go against us there. I got to be careful. Let's watch and see. See, price is kind of stalling out here a little bit. You guys are watching this real time with me. I'll make it a little bit bigger here on the screen. Okay, we want to see it come down, not go up. Okay, needs to take out the bottom of this wick for us to feel more comfortable. Right there. Okay, it needs to take that out. Okay, we're struggling with follow through right now. Okay, here's our next 2 minute candle. Come on down, come on down. Needs to push through where my cursor is. Needs to push through there. And it's trying. It's got to do what I call clear and hold. It's got to clear this area and hold it. Okay, just because it pokes a little wick through there, that doesn't necessarily mean anything. Okay, come on down. See how it keeps going back and forth, back and forth. Ideally, right? Ideally, we want a quick move. Now it's starting to poke its head back up again. We got to pay attention here. Okay, we want it to keep coming down this line here. Okay, start of a new candle. Okay, we want to see it reverse and go lower. Come on. And I can tell you right now, this is one of the reasons I don't like trading these smaller time frames, right? Lots of noise on the screen, and you have to watch every little up and down, up and down. I really prefer the 30-minute. That's what I trade most of the time. Okay, trying to drop lower here. Got to try to get some follow through. Right now, we're just not getting any follow through. See where my cursor is. Got about 20 seconds left on this candle. Okay, now it's starting to push up. Got to watch it here. Okay, now if this, I was gonna say, if this doesn't start going down, okay, we need it to keep coming down. Needs to push. Needs to push lower. Keep coming. Keep coming. Notice these round numbers. It'll hang up around a round number. And if you can break through it, like 2905, 2910, 2900, so on and so forth, just to keep coming. Okay, push down, and now it's pushing back up again. Not getting the follow through we need. We really want to see it drop. It was starting to. Now it's pushing back up again. So as you can see, scalping is not that glamorous. Sometimes that happens quickly, sometimes it doesn't. So right now, we know that right in through here, it needs to get below. It's really sort of like right through here. Okay, it's got to break below there, and then hopefully just start diving. There we go. There we go. All right, now let's see what's going on. Okay. Okay, keep coming, keep coming. Come on. Come on. Need to see it just kind of dive here. If we get one little burst, I'd try to get out. Let's see where we're at. There we go. Okay, we're out. All right, guys, let's see here. We made 50 bucks, $50, and we were in the trade 10 minutes. A little bit longer than I like. And how do I know it's 50 bucks? You see this? I bought at 11. We sold at 12. You get $12.50 for every tick. Every tick. So we got 4 ticks. $1 divided by 25 cents is 4 times $12.50 is $50. So we made $50 in 10 minutes. Okay, $50 in 10 minutes. I told you I kind of thought this would be the target, but I exited as soon as I saw that thing go to 50 bucks, just because you've seen these 2-minute plays. And imagine what it was like earlier when I was playing on the 1-minute chart. I was just, again, trying to show the premium members in my room, you can trade price action on any time frame. I don't recommend 1 minute or 2 minute. Okay, typically 5 minutes is about as low as I would like to see anybody go. However, whatever fits your personality, right? I don't like sitting here watching all of this. Okay, now we knew, that's why I drew this in. Okay, I knew based on coming up here, we put in the hammer, and notice, look at this, we never took out the body of the hammer, right? So there was no reason to stop out, but until we got over here and started to break down, we were actually red. And I told you, that's why I needed it to fall. This one candle, just falling like that, we made 50 bucks. So really on this whole trade, here and here, when it fell to here and it came back up, retested and came down, that's where all the profit came from. That's where it all came from, right there. Because all this in here, we were red. We were red right there. Okay, now I kind of figured that this right here, this is that trend line, and let me show you. Let's go back to the 30-minute. Okay, and I'll show you. All right, so there we go. There's that 30-minute. I'm gonna start taking some of these off of here. I'm gonna leave that one on. I'll take this one off. Remove. I'm gonna leave that one on for now. Here's the 30-minute, and there's the trend line. And you see how it's been respected. I can even come all the way back here. See this? Once we got up above it, look how it's been respected. Here, here, and now here, okay, 1, 2, 3 times. We're trying to get through it again. We're trying to get through it right now. Okay, now we're back to the 30-minute. See how much cleaner this is? Right? Now, would I have taken that trade on the 30-minute? No, right? I wouldn't have taken it on the 30-minute because this would have been my candle I would have been playing off of, and I wouldn't have been looking for any kind of an entry unless we took out the top of this hammer, and I don't like having a wick that big on the top of the hammer. Okay, why? Because it puts us so close to this level right here. But when we kept dropping down and dropping down and dropping down, we got to the 2-minute chart. And if I go back, okay, now we're testing the 200 again. See this right here? So we've tested it 1, 2, and we're testing it a third time. Also, if we take this out, we're expanding the range, right? This is the range that we're expanding if we take this out. Let me go back to the 2-minute and I'll show you again. And you see how nerve-wracking it was. You were watching me in the trade. So we just did a live scalp for 50 bucks in 10 minutes. But I'll show you what I saw on the 2-minute. Oh, come on. Thinkorswim is a mess. See, it won't let me get right where I want. Oh, this is horrible. I apologize, guys. There we go. All right. So I already took the line off. The line was right here. Okay. So we were expanding the range, right? We'd already been back up, back down, back up, and we formed a hammer, and that was our signal, right? On the 2-minute. Okay. See how we're going back through the range, up and down, as the range is expanding? So that was my trigger on the 2-minute. So the smaller the time frame, the more signals you're going to get, but they're going to be smaller, and you have to put up with this. Again, you watch me. That's a 10-minute trade, and I'm telling you, that just, it takes it out of you to just watch price go up and down and up and down and up and down like this on a 2-minute or a 1-minute or even really a 3-minute chart. But again, if you come up here, we never took out the body of our trigger candle. This was our trigger. We never took out the body. That's where I would have stopped out. We came right up to it. You saw me early, right? I think it was this candle. I was just about ready to stop out, and then we moved back down. Then I drew that line in like this, okay, coming down, and it was moving our direction, even though it was chopping up and down, and then finally, then I drew this in because you could see what the level was that it needed to break through right there. Finally, it broke through. And that one little quick move, right? This is, I'll tell you, 205.75 to 201.75. That's all the way down here, but we exited about right here. So really, just that drop like that of like $3, and it happened, remember how quickly it happened, like in a matter of seconds, we went from basically being even to up 50 bucks that quickly. And then I just got out. Now look, it's kept going, and look where it's going. Look at this. Look where it's headed, right? Let's see if we've expanded the range yet. Just now, we just expanded the range. Okay, we're almost here. Now we technically don't have to go any lower. We've expanded the range already. See my cursor? We're already below that. Okay, so we've already expanded the range. The range is still expanding. Price likes to test its boundaries. Now on these smaller ones, right, we're on a 2-minute. On these smaller ones, are they going to be as solid as something that's off of a daily or even a 30-minute or a 4-hour? No, they're not going to be as solid, right? I mean, we might just bust straight through here. That's possible. Okay, and then we've got this level right here, 28.95 as support. Okay, let's see what it does. Then I'm going to have to jump off of here pretty soon, guys, just because, like I said, I got some stuff to do today. But I did, if I saw an opportunity, I did want to try to take a scalp trade with the free community on here, right? When we're on here on Tuesdays and Fridays, this is free to everyone. Then I do private live streams with our paid members, which are our premium members. We do those on the days we don't do the YouTube live streams. And occasionally, maybe on a weekend or in an evening, we might throw an extra one in here or there as well. Okay, so right now, you see what happened? Okay, right now we're still above here. Okay, we poked down below, but we're still above the trend line, which is just a visual representation. There is nothing magical. There's nothing concrete about this line. We technically expanded the range right over here. Okay, right there. And we're going lower. It's just that it typically does happen that if you just extend these lines out, they just go back and forth until they eventually break through. Okay, trying to go a little bit lower, and we're already in that range. I told you before, I'd kind of told the SimpleTradingLife.com premium community early in the day that I thought we could see 28.99 to 28.95, and we're in that range right now. We're in that range right now. Seeing what it wants to do here. Now, what some people will do, again, I don't typically do it, but what some people will do is if this candle starts to go back up, they'll take this line and they'll move it from here to there. Again, it's not necessary, right? Who cares if this pokes a little bit here or if it doesn't make it quite all the way here, so on and so forth. You can do that if you want, right? If it helps you. But it looks like we're trying to go at least down to the 28.95 here. Let's go back to the 30-minute real quick. Okay, that's what it looks like on the 30-minute. Now here, okay, you could even draw like this, just so, and from here, it would have been from here across there, and you could see where you're breaking through. Watch this. See that? You can see where you're breaking through. See how we came down, and then we had this range in between here on the 30-minute. Now we're breaking down. Now we're to the 28.95 level. Okay, if we get below here, here's our next obstacle. This wick and this pivot right there. See it? This would be your next obstacle. So down to about 28.90. Down to right around 28.90. It's actually 28.89.75. That's if it can break and hold here, which is also this pivot. Got it? All right, guys, I'm going to jump off of here. Does anybody have any questions before I go? I definitely can stay on another 5 minutes or so if I need to. Does anybody have any questions about anything? I'll wait just a minute or so. I'll see if anybody has any questions. Definitely give us a thumbs up. That helps us with YouTube. And subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Turn on that notifications bell. And check us out at SimpleTradingLife.com. You can learn about us. If you want to try us out, we have a free room and we also have a premium room. It's very inexpensive. It's only $97 a month, which is less than 25 bucks a week. So if you can't get at least $25 worth of value per week out of a room, I don't think you should be in it. Okay, that's just my personal opinion. But anyway, I'll wait just a minute and see if anybody has any questions. See, so far our 28.95 level is holding up. Look at that. Right to it. To the tick. Let's see if it's just resting and going to try to push lower. And if it breaks through there, again, then we're looking at this wick right here. Right here, if it pushes through. But we've already got to where I thought we could get to today. Again, no predictions. I wasn't like trying to tell people, out on Twitter, this is, bet all your money on this, because we don't trade that way in our room. We trade no matter what. Like yesterday. Let me go back to yesterday and find opening price. I think it was right here. Hang on one second here. Yeah, so yesterday, opening, here was opening candle. I felt like there was the potential that we could have went lower yesterday too. Maybe a little structure move and then lower, but we didn't. We went up, okay? See that strong move? No big deal, right? Because I trade price action, so I traded that all the way up, right? Then when we pivoted and started coming down, I traded it all the way down. That's the great thing about not having any bias. Okay, we're breaking below. All right, so I'll hang out just a second here. Okay, you see where my cursor is across there. That's the bottom of this wick. Okay, let's see what happens. Sort of in limbo, and that's normal, right? That's normal. But you see how much more calm it is on the 30-minute? If we were on the 2-minute or the 1-minute, where it's right there in limbo, we'd be watching candles go up and down, right? On the 30-minute, it just barely looks like it's moving. So you don't get nervous, let's put it that way. At least I don't. Like, my heart rate when I'm watching this happen on the 30-minute doesn't increase at all. Whether it's flushing, or starting to bounce or nothing. But when I'm on a 1 or a 2-minute, like just literally watching those candles go up and down, up and down, up and down, that like drives me nuts, right? That's what I mean about mentally taxing. It's mentally taxing to trade those micro time frames. Okay, I don't see anybody's questions. You know what to watch for, right? This wick right here to see if it can take it out or not. If not, we may come down there and you may see a bounce, right? It's very possible. Or if it gets through there, let's look. If it gets through there, then you're looking over here. See these wicks? And that was another pivot. Okay, and that is down in the 2872 to 2868 range. All right, that would be your next thing if we get through right here. Okay, just trying to teach you guys how to look for things and know what's likely to happen in a high probability fashion. So I hope everybody has an awesome day. We'll see you guys again on Friday at 2 p.m. Have a wonderful day. Bye-bye.